Hi, I'm Sophia. Welcome to the second round of the final round of the 2007 Champions Trophy case competition. The team presenting now is Team Koru. On the judging panel today, we have Elizabeth Vincent, the New Zealand manager of Division, Sarah Kennedy, the CEO of Livestream, as well as Jonathan Mason, an independent director. The team will have 10 minutes to present, followed immediately by 10 minutes of question and answer. When you have 2 minutes remaining, Diana will hold up a 2-minute sign. And when you have 1 minute remaining, she'll hold up a 1-minute sign. You have this will occur for both the question and answer session as well as the presentation. Team Koru.
One step towards cancer prevention is one step towards a cancer-free tomorrow. While Skin Vision has disrupted the market already, they are emphasizing on prevention rather than treatment. We believe the key question lies in misalignment between the patients with high-risk profiles as well as limited health resources that are available. Here are, my name is Jillian. This is my team, Terrence, Sophia, and Hank. And today, let's make strides towards envisioning, or rather, skin visioning, a cancer-free tomorrow. So first, we believe the key issue lies in the high risk of skin cancer in New Zealand. However, with this great problem, we realize there's firstly a lack of awareness towards skin cancer prevention, and secondly, a lack of access towards timely diagnosis and treatment. This causes impacts such as higher mortality rates due to skin cancer within New Zealand, as there's no preventive methods, so therefore a lower survival rate for people who are in second stages of skin cancer. The urgency in this case therefore lies in lowering barriers to gain diagnosis and treatment, as well as creating awareness towards individuals that are prone to skin cancer. Therefore, we decided to analyze a value chain to determine the first steps towards our analysis. We realized that people that are currently using your apps and have high-risk profiles towards skin cancer are already seeking the necessary treatments available. However, on the flip side, we realize people that are not using your application, but yet have high-risk profiles towards skin cancer, do not actually have this connection towards GPs and other necessary treatments. We think this disconnect lies in two places. First, as we can see in the value chain, the individuals, between the people who are not using your app and the people that have high-risk profiles. And secondly, the second disconnect lies in the people who have high-risk profiles and are going to the general practitioners, but therefore might be misdiagnosed and therefore not getting timely access to the treatments necessary. So, as I identified, there are two major gaps. Firstly, the lack of awareness towards skin cancer prevention, And secondly, on the institution side, there's a lack of misdiagnosis by the general practitioners. Therefore, no timely treatment and no timely diagnosis. Therefore, we segment our analysis to individuals and general practitioners. And how do we do this? To target individuals, we believe there are different customers and we need to segment them appropriately. We want to create awareness by doing targeted marketing campaigns. And secondly, to target general practitioners, we want to incentivize adoption and usage of the application. And we would do this by changing the dictionary. So, ladies and gentlemen, and judges, let me present to you our vision. So our first strategy, educate, and our second strategy, incentivize. First, to educate by creating mobile pop-up stores towards different customer segments. And second, incentivize by providing a one-time fee towards general practitioners. All in all, our impacts are vast. We will not only have 500,000 additional downloads and also create 60 million of revenue in New Zealand in 5 years, this will provide great leaps towards a cancer-free tomorrow. So Sophia, where should we start? How do we achieve our zeroth point of contact, the individuals?
Thank you, Jillian. So the zeroth point of contact currently is when the user has to get skin vision in order to get their diagnosis. So skin vision is strategically placed right there in the middle. And in order to do so and to provide accurate detections, you needed a large user database and a large amount of photos inputted. So how do you actually increase your number of inputs? In order to do so, we have to understand what we're trying to target and who we're trying to target. So we segmented the market into 5 main groups. First, we looked into athletes and beachgoers, next into parents and kids, then moving on to some white-collar business people, and also into the medical professionals, and finally into the rural population. Each group has their own incentives to want to use skin vision. Each group has their own reasons. This is why we believe that by segmenting the different target audience, we'll be able to better understand how we can cater to their needs. So next we looked into, in order to achieve this reach, how and where we should actually target. For example, looking at our beachgoers and our athletes, we thought of promoting at beaches as well as partnering with sunscreen companies or even sponsoring tournaments for sports, outdoor sports. Then if we're looking at parents and kids who are interested in early prevention, the best location would be schools. As for medical professionals, we're also looking into nursing schools and medical schools. And finally, for our business white collars, we looked into the fact that though they have a very health-conscious mindset and that they're always in the downtown financial service areas. So a great way to target them is through partnerships with insurance. So there are different channels and different ways to target our different customers. So how can we do this all with one strategy? And our solution is to have pop-up trailers. Our pop-up trailers are very simple. They'll have sales representatives that go around to teach the population how to use the app, different ways for skin cancer prevention. And to do so, we propose partnering with government, with insurance companies, with sunscreen companies, and the list goes on. By doing this, not only are you reaching a wider audience, you're also able to keep the mobility and the flexibility. So now that we've established this zeroth point of contact, what's the first point of contact, Terrence?
Thank you, Sophia. To incentivize the institutional plans that we have. So Sophia mentioned how we would touch the zeroth point of contact, and we are now going to touch the first point of contact, the practitioners. So first we look at the out-of-network general practitioners, and because they are 85% of the population that has skin cancer would reach them in the first place. However, they lack the field knowledge in dermatology and low incentive to promote technology such as our app, Skin Vision. How we're going to promote this? We're going to give them a package, an all-in-one package. And that means that we're going to give them unlimited use once they pay an annual fee of our product, which combines the pro and the scanning abilities of our Skin Vision apps. How about in-network, in-insurance network practitioners? We realize that there are incentives for both insurance companies and the government to sponsor this. Let's look at both public and private insurance. For the government, there's a rising need to cover the medical expenditure as aging population becomes a big problem in New Zealand. For insurance, there's an increasing risk exposure due to the same problem. They have to pay out much more than before due to the increasing risk of skin cancer. So therefore, there's a strong reason for them to sponsor the adoption of our app. Financially saying, it costs $215,000 for every no action because it costs $233,000 to treat a second phase skin cancer patient. So this is a very compelling reason for them to buy our app, give it out to their insurers as an insurance themselves. So instead of paying for the $250,000, they're just going to pay us for wide adoption of all the insurers will receive a free copy of the app, and they will be able to use it to track the changes in the lesions and therefore have a higher chance of responding to the skin cancer before it actually worsens. So therefore, reducing a high amount of insurance payouts as well as public expenditure in medical. So we're going to provide them limited use with $50K per case once something happens. So now, Hank, can you tell us how much revenue we're going to generate?
60 million in New Zealand only. And we broke it down by different segments. For app, we're going to be able to get $40 million. And then going forward with the subscription service, we're going to be able to get more than $200,000. And with two of our partnerships, the insurance as well as the government, we're going to be able to get additional $10 million from each. So all in all, there's going to be a cost included for this. So Terrence, why don't you take us back to our cart, our trailer. So as you can see from our trailer, this is going to cost us about 16K. So it's going to cost about 16K each, but since we're going to have a partnership with 5 different key stakeholders, it's going to be able to let us amortize our costs throughout in the future. And all in all, we're going to be able to generate 50,000 downloads going forward. And now, Sophia, can we make this happen?
Thank you, Hank. So with our strategy in mind, we believe that we'll be able to reach an additional 500,000 downloads within the next 5 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today my team and I have talked to you about how we can connect patients to their diagnosis by using pop-up trailers, and further how we can continue this chain onto the general practitioners through our incentive scheme. But our vision for Skin Vision is actually far beyond that. Our strategy works because it's not only scalable. You can easily bring it to any other country in the world. It's also very easily replicated using the digital platform. We believe that Skin Vision is here to help prevent skin cancer because they are helping patients take one step closer to their diagnosis and therefore one step closer to a cancer-free tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time and attention. We now open the floor to questions.
So, in your strategy, just so I'm correct, you're offering the doctors the Skin Vision app. Is that right?
Yes, so we're offering the general practitioners the use of the scanning as well, because we believe that the major driver of this is most, especially the metropolitan people, that would not be doing this checks themselves. There's a strong incentive for doctors to promote it through their service, because we expect the first point of contact is where the patients, potential patients, will actually first go to the GPs. We will also strategize sales and promotion of our app to the consumers with our first strategy. So we're actually touching on both points of contact. We're maximizing the opportunities of touching them.
We believe that general practitioners are drivers of these users, and with increasing users, is increasing accuracy and increased popularity of the application as well.
Well done, guys. Just further on the thing about the GPs, can you explain a bit more about your package idea? I'm just not quite sure how the pricing will work, what's actually involved in the package.
So the pricing currently is $150 for the Pro, but it's only for viewing the pictures that patients send in. So instead of that, we're rearranging it by, so the doctors out of network would pay $300, and they would also get the unlimited use, but they would be referring their patients to use our app, which would be the individual, so we would have a 2-stream income from that side. From the other side, which is the in-network, we're actually going to have the primary revenue from the insurance companies themselves. So instead of paying out every time when the patient uses the app, all the insurers would actually get unlimited trials, and the insurance companies would pay us $50,000 for any actual finding of case. We believe that this is justifiable because, as illustrated, it costs $250K just if a case actually happens. So $50K is just 25% of it when a case actually happens, so it saves the company over $200K per case. On average, it actually costs $6.25 per customer in our projection. So it would make very much economic sense for both the companies and the general practitioners.
How are you going to treat, I think the 233,000 was for melanoma cases, right? But I think there's somewhere in the case where it says most skin cancers are not melanoma. And I think the app is also designed to identify the non-melanoma skin cancers. Have you thought about what the package is on that? Because like the patient identifies one of those, they'll often want that to be surgically removed or in the appointment. And so, did you think about that?
Yeah.
So that could be a substantial cost of insurance, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, so the biggest difference here is that when we calculated the break-even and the pricing of this, we realized that only 60 patients have to be identified for the payments to be broken even. So every year there are 500 of those cases right now that escalate from stage 1 to stage 2. So it's just 10% of it already break even for all the companies that we have in the estimated pool. For the surgery part and treatment part, we believe that's not our forte and our emphasis in the app because we're mostly on the diagnosis and the preventive side. We believe that ultimately, because we prevent a lot more cases through partnering with the government and insurance, it would actually cut down on the spending in terms of public and private expenditure on treatments. And we believe that the treatments would both best be handled by dermatologists, which we also did not focus on this because we believe dermatologists could spot right there whether your lesion is stage 2 or actually a skin cancer, and they do not have to rely on our app. They could rely on their professional judgment. So we target more on the consumer side and the less expertise.
When you're targeting the consumers, quite broad in general, how you can target them specifically because they are the largest group of skin cancer sufferers?
Okay, so looking into some of the strategic partnerships that we chose, that's actually one reason why we wanted to focus on sports. We realized that a lot of sports lovers and sports watchers are men, and that was initially why we wanted that portion. We also looked into for women really quickly. That's why we wanted also to complement it with a kind of gender neutral way channel, which would be like the sunscreen companies, or just through different promotional locations. That's why we think a pop-up trailer is very flexible. You can easily change the looks, you can easily change your partnerships. So it can be for all gender, just for men, or it can very easily customized to specific target customers.
I just think in rural areas, you can drive for a long time before trailer before you actually see someone. Probably not the best way to target a rural community.
Yeah. So in terms of rural, we actually, you see the first few boxes, blue, green, and then blue and then black. So we actually thought that the rurals are too big in terms of scale geographically spread. So that's one of the reasons why, even though there are 11% population in rural areas, we are not very inclined in reaching them in the first place. We believe that the promotion can be done by public health education through the government. So that's one of the strategy that we have, is that we would basically be promoting the ad with the government as well, hopefully. And that would reach the rural population instead of ourselves doing it, because we don't have the resources, as we mentioned, to reach all the population across New Zealand in the islands. It's just too difficult for us as a startup.
In addition, we also think that the technology adoption rate is rather slow, so we're actually trying to target the first 4 target customers first before we move into the rural.
With your program in schools, how do you envisage that working, and how does that compete or double up on what SunSmart doing?
Excuse me, could you repeat the last part of your question?
So the SunSmart program is run in the schools. How do you envisage STEM Vision working alongside the SunSmart program?
So how we envision it is it actually ties with the trailer. So on top of the education part of the 6 Steps of SunSmart program, we believe that the students and the parents themselves could actually also be volunteers in our trailer program, promoting it elsewhere in beaches and in other places, like a volunteer activity of visiting elderly homes. It's a similar concept to that. So that's why when we do the projection for our trailer, we actually expect all to be volunteers from the different nurses, could be parents, could be kids. So that's how we envision them to be a part of our program.
Just in that, are you trying to target the parents or the children?
So we're actually trying to target the parents first, because parents are the people who actually teach their kids how to use it. We are talking about mobile applications, so we do want parents to be the first ones. But we also understand that parents do care about their children's health, and they do want to help them prevent these skin cancers early on, which is why we wanted to target parents. And in order to do so, we think school is a great place because before or after school, you see parents coming in and out, and that's why we wanted to focus on schools as well.
I just wonder if you'll get the target market and the fact that 70% of people getting skin cancer are aged 50 years or older, which tend to be getting toward the grandparents and the parents.
I think parents, by targeting them, they're really the main driver for intergenerational impact. Not only do they reach kids, but they're also the primary source of advice and help to grandparents as well. So this also helps the elderly population and the kids simultaneously.
Adding on to that, we also target different partners across different income groups and different ages. For example, Country Club, we're definitely targeting the more senior population in that. For the sunscreen partnership in the schools, apparently we're targeting the parents and the kids. So we actually are looking at partners that covers a broad range of audience.
In your demographic breakdown, there's a gap, and I'm not sure whether you feel about this, in terms of outdoor workers in cities. So you've got your rural workers and you've got your white-collar business people, but how will you address the gap when you talk about that?
So one of the main reasons why we actually did a pop-up store instead of a standalone location is we wanted to make sure it was mobile. And when we think of like workers that might be doing outdoors work in the city, this is a very great way to have the pop-up trailer be able to reach these demographics at these locations.
Basic question, so let's say my doctor has unlimited use of the app, and I go in. What happens to get me on the app? Does the doctor tell me about the app? Do they give me a whole piece of paper? What's exactly happening?
Right, so the doctor is actually going to educate what's so special about the app. It's the tracking ability. So once you take a picture of it, you can be able to track how big the lesion is growing. Or
Will
if
the
there's
doctor
a-
take a picture?
So the doctors will show you how to do it, but then in the end, you're going to be doing the tracking by yourself with doctor's
Okay.
help.
Well, just show me how to do it.